Hey, hello, welcome back to the Wheels Up podcast. This is episode 8, and you may have noticed that we are in person together because I am home from college for the holidays.
Yes.
And don't worry, because we both got tested and we're both COVID negative, so we are not being bad socially distanced people. Or we kind of are, but better than we could have been.
People. Can I tell you, before we start the podcast, like what we need to talk about, can I tell you what happened with my COVID test?
Well, you did text me this morning and you're like, I'm positive. And you're like, oh wait, no, that was a prank.
This is what happened. I got tested Friday or Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I was worried the entire weekend. And at 1 a.m. this morning, it came in the email, but my mom didn't tell me. I woke up, I went out to go tell my mom something, and she looks me dead in the eye, and she's like, go back in your room, you have COVID. And then I think it's a joke. So I'm like, what? And then she's like, go put a mask on, you're positive, I have no idea how you got it. And I go back in my room and sulk for like an hour. And I thought it was so real because there was a point where my brother came in, he peeked, and he had gloves on and a mask.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the fuck? And so it's like 9 already.
Mm-hmm.
My dad comes in, and I'm like, dude, stay away, I have COVID. And my dad was like, your mom's pranking you. And I was like,
She let you just believe that for like an hour?
I couldn't believe that. I had COVID-19 for an hour. I had called like 10 people being like, hey, we hung out recently. We're fucked.
Oh my god.
It was so...
Your mom's so savvy.
I know, and she didn't even bother. Anyways, yes, I don't have COVID-19. I tested negative. Thank fucking God. Because Mary and I in like our close bubble of friends, which is literally 3 people, have like quite a bit of plans for the next, couple weeks and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is it.
I'm done for.
But anyways, yeah. So in today's podcast, we're gonna be ranking, as you can see. We have like a physical ranking board, as opposed to like one of those fancy online ones. The season finales of Criminal Minds. Do you want to? We can like switch off, but do you want to talk about the first category?
For the first category, we have great,
which are the best of the best.
Good acting, good storyline, good unsubs. This is top tier.
Yes, top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Second tier is just good, where it's like they didn't hit the mark, but you will take it.
Mm-hmm.
And we like it. It doesn't make us mad. That's the main thing I think about the good category, is that good doesn't make us angry.
Yeah.
Next one.
Then we have meh, where it wasn't good, and it might have been boring, but it wasn't season 15.
And yeah, and our last tier is season 15.
The season 15 finale.
Because that's by far the worst finale, and I'm pretty sure there's no other season finale we can really put in that category.
We were racking our brains for the descriptor, the only descriptor we could think of to describe season 15.
Because we were
the worst of the worst.
We weren't gonna put it with any other season finale. There's no other season finale that's like, oh yeah. I almost called it "Fuck the Producers of Criminal Minds." It's a little bit harsh. So yeah, we're just gonna be ranking each of the season finales from what we can try to remember. We quickly reviewed each of the season finales, and I hope that we know enough.
We'll try our best. Oh yes, quick disclaimer. This is our opinion.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at us. You can have different opinions. I mean, they're wrong opinions, but you can have them. Neither
of us are like film majors or like TV.
Oh no, I'm a STEM major.
I am nothing. And we don't know anything about like filming or like cinematography. So if we speak about that, just know it's coming from a place of like cluelessness.
Yeah.
But we were literally basing this mostly on like how we feel.
This
as
is
fans.
100% gut feeling.
Yeah.
No higher thought.
Yeah. Head empty. Board full.
Yes.
Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do the first one. Season 1, The Fisher King, Part 1. Do you do a recap? Like what's...
Yeah, a little quick summary.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
What I remember is that, there was... Oh, fuck. Is that the one where he talks to Reed's mom?
That's season 1, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, isn't it the L thing?
Oh, yeah, this season finale ends with Elle, of someone entering Elle's house and shooting her, which leads into a bunch of trauma. We're gonna try to not talk about the season as a whole, like, we'll try to focus on how it wraps up the season.
Mm-hmm.
This is also, when they figure out there's, like, an unsub that has, like, infiltrated their personal lives and has, like, sending these little gifts and all that jazz.
And hacks Garcia's computer, right?
Yeah. So there's not much to say just because it is season 1 and it is very like unsub focused. Where would you put this one?
I'd put it in the good category because I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
But it like starts off the show and it like wraps up the first season. I don't think it's meh.
I don't think it's meh either, and I think it gives like Elle a good setup.
Yeah.
As a character. So should we put it in good?
Yes.
Don't fall.
Frankie made the board and all of the cards. You just said don't fall and then you hit the board.
Anyways, I did make the board. So if it fucks up.
This is homemade.
It's very homemade.
DIY.
I literally made this an hour ago. In an hour. Do you want to do the next one?
Sure.
To the bottom.
Okay. Now we have season 2, No Way Out. The evolution of Frank.
Okay.
So, from what I remember, in this season finale, we come back to Frank, who was introduced, I think he was in season 2. It was earlier in season 2. And he has, like, this connection with Rossi. Sometimes the unsubs have a connection with, like, one team member. And his connection was with Rossi. No, Gideon. Rossi. Gideon. Sometimes I confuse them with Gideon. And the unsub has this like girl that he likes, who he's like in love with.
Jane.
And then Jane like leaves him, and then he goes on this rampage, and he starts killing the people that Gideon had saved, because Gideon had like this wallet with like pictures of all of like the victims he had like been able to save, and then they find out about like the unsub's mother and like go to his old apartment or whatever and save the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the unsub kills Gideon's girlfriend,
Sarah.
Lady. Yes.
And how does it end? Do Jane and him kill? Doesn't one of them kill? Like, because there's like a train involved.
I feel like Jane dies.
Didn't they walk?
I feel like Jane kills herself.
Didn't they walk in front of a train? I don't know.
I cannot remember what happens to Frank, but I don't think he survives.
I think that says something about the episode finale that we can't remember it and that we just recapped it. Where would you put this?
I don't think it's great.
I don't think it's great either. What if the whole category is empty?
No, I think we will have some that are great. I don't know if it's meh.
I don't know if it's meh. I think it's pretty good just because I think Frank's like a decent unsub. He's got a good backstory.
Yeah.
And I think the involvement, I like the idea of like, he breaks into Gideon's apartment and manages to get that list of everyone he's ever saved.
Yeah.
And uses that against Gideon.
And it's also one of those episodes like that they have more often in the earlier seasons where like they figure out the backstory of the unsub and then they use that to like argue with them and like convince them to do what they want to do, and I always think that's cool. Yeah. So we should put it in good?
Let's put it in good.
As good it is.
Don't you love how each of the things are like different colors?
Yeah.
Really
little humble brag there.
I tried hard, guys. Season 3, lo-fi. This is... Oh my god, is this the one with the bomb? Where, like, it ends on a cliffhanger if you don't... It's like they're a bomb... The terrorist group. Haley lookalike.
Yes! That is it. That is it.
So the basic thing of the episode is that there's like, I don't know if they know in the beginning, but there was like a terrorist group running around, like killing cops.
And it's in New York, I think.
It's in New York. And they kind of team up with someone from Interpol who looks exactly like Haley.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Haley and Hotch are separated.
Yeah.
And it ends with her, does she die? She dies.
She dies. She dies in the bomb explosion.
But the main thing about this episode, it ends with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Is that,
the terrorist group puts a bomb on the bottom of Hotch's car.
Yeah.
And then there's an explosion.
But the rest of the team members are also in cars, and I think the footage just clips out, so Garcia doesn't know whose car just exploded.
That's how the next season starts. She's calling everybody.
But then it ends up being Hotch's and the Interpol lady who looks exactly like Haley. Where'd you put this?
I know it's not part of that of like the it's not part of that finale, but I remember when the next season starts, there's like this cool thing where like they did the bomb because they like go undercover and they like dress up as people on an ambulance, and they use that to get into the hospital. And then they like, I think they set up more like bombs in the hospital. So I thought that was cool.
I almost want to put it in great, just because it's a really good cliffhanger.
I think it's a pretty good episode. Yeah.
I like it a lot, and I like the whole thing of just like the lady that like is helping out, that like Hotch just seems really attached.
No, they comment on it on the episode. Like, I think it's like Derek is like, she looks just like Haley.
Also, the fact that they got two different actresses that look so alike is insane. Yeah. Like, she looks so much
They were like, we just need Haley with an accent.
I do like the twist. I don't know if it happens. Well, I can't really say it for the season finale, but it happens in the beginning of the next season, where the guy helping Hotch and the lady is a part of the terrorist group, and he just pretends to be a bystander. Do you remember that?
I'm not sure if I remember that.
There was a guy there, like, on the scene at the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And they closed off the roads. That's why Hotch and the lady couldn't get help right away.
Yes, I do remember that.
He's like, call 911, and then he ends up being part of the terrorist group.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, I think great. I think it's a great one.
Let's put it in great. I hope this isn't the only one in great.
No, I think there'll be more.
You keep hitting it.
Yeah, why do you keep hitting it? I don't think that's gonna help.
I'm passionate. Anyways.
Are you passionate or angry?
Next.
Okay. Next we have season 4 and back.
We should have written prompts on the
back.
We
should have. I do not remember.
To hell and back. Oh, this is embarrassing. Do you want to look it up? I can't look it up because my phone's on the thing.
Sure. We can just cut it out. Season 4.
Should I vamp while you're doing that?
What's vamp?
Like, improv?
Or we could just cut this part out.
No, I'll vamp.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
My phone's so slow.
Okay. Well, while Mary's doing that, I will vamp. So this morning, you just heard about, my mom pranked me. By the way, if you have a family member, you should never prank them by telling them they have COVID-19, especially in this whole day and age. They're gonna contact like 20 people and be like, hey, I canceled Thanksgiving, I have COVID-19. Second of all, what happened today? I locked myself out of my car. I was at Target, and I locked my keys in the car. I had to call my father, who had to come in with a spare key and unlock me, and left immediately. It's been a rough morning, you guys. And do you have it? I can keep vamping if you don't have it.
I don't have it.
She doesn't have it yet. Anyways, what did I get? I went to Target. Actually, no, I got this at Michael's, because the Target by my house is right next to Michael's. Got this at Michael's. My mom just happened to have like a shit ton of paper. That all happened this morning. I'm behind on so many things. Yeah, but yeah.
I'm trying so hard. Okay. BAU continues its search for the serial killer in Canada, and they stumble... Oh, it's the pig farm one.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the one in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the card? Okay.
Yes.
Do you know enough to give a recap?
You can do it. I did the last one.
Okay. So this is the episode where like there's like at least like 90.
There was like over 90
victims involved in the case. Where it was two brothers. One of them had like a severe spinal cord injury because his brother had pushed him off a roof.
Mm-hmm.
One of the brothers happens to be mentally disabled, and so his brother, the one injured, coerces them into like bringing home people, killing them, feeding their bodies to pigs as a way of disposal, and so that the injured one can like experiment on them, trying to cure himself. Big focus is that there's a teenage girl that is kidnapped by them, and she manages to befriend the mentally disabled brother, manages to like call the police using his phone, and it ends up with both brothers being killed. And the whole point of the episode is that no one's really saved except that teenage girl who is traumatized outside of the fact. And it ends with Hotch giving a whole big lesson of like, sometimes, some days you just fail constantly. You do everything right, but it just ends up feeling like a failure.
And then he's attacked at the end.
He's attacked in his own apartment by the Reaper. And it does give a cliffhanger because you just hear a gunshot. And you don't know if Hotch is dead.
I would put it in meh, not because it's a bad episode, because I feel like it's just like an episode.
Okay.
But I think that the thing at the end with Hotch puts it into good.
I agree, because I think it doesn't seem like a season finale.
Yeah, it's just like, because like most other finales, they at least meet the unsub before, or there's some like build up, but that's just kind of like, it's an episode.
My thing is that like, if you were just to cut out the cliffhanger at the end, it would seem like a regular episode.
Yeah, it would. It could go anywhere in the season.
To be honest, I feel like the cliffhanger is kind of shoved in a little bit, just because it's really separate from the case. And but yeah, I put it in good.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the unsub wasn't strong enough for like a season finale.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. Okay.
Put it in the Met.
I'm surprised we haven't put any in Met yet.
The next one fucking sucked. Okay, no. Season 5.
Oh, that was a good one.
Our darkest hour. We when we talked about this, we both instantly remembered the entire.
Oh yeah.
That
there was only a couple where you're like, oh, I definitely remember that one.
Yeah, and this was one of them. I remember. Do you want to go? I think
sure.
I just told it.
In this one, I think it's a 2-parter. Does it like start in the next season, or is it?
No, I don't think so.
Or is it like the final 2 episodes? Because I remember it being a 2-parter. I think there's like, it's like the second to last episode and that last episode there's like a 2-parter. But the unsub is using the rolling blackouts in LA because of the heat. If you're not from California, then when it gets hot enough, there's lots of air conditioning.
That sounds so like mystical to anyone who doesn't live in California. When it gets hot, it goes dark.
Oh yeah, it does. So there's like rolling blackouts in LA, and the unsub goes to places where there are blackouts to kill people. And then he kidnaps there's this detective who was working with the team, and his parents were killed by him when he was like a baby, I think, or a really little kid. And then he's like kind of attached to him, and he ends up kidnapping his daughter and tries to like train his daughter to like be his accomplice. And then Morgan has to like save her, and I remember they have like a connection afterwards, and they like kind of she's brought back in the next season for an episode or 2. Yeah.
Where would you put this?
I put it in great.
Why?
Because I just think it's a really good one. It's a very distinct episode. We remembered it really well. It has like a lot of things that happen in it. It's intense. I thought he was like a scary unsub, I think. Yeah. He freaked me out. Would you not put it in great?
I mean, I put it in great. If we were to average our answers, it'd probably go into great. Because I don't want to put it in good necessarily, because I think it is like a step higher than what we put in good. I like that Tim Curry is in the episode. He's a great actor. Yeah. Is it in the second part that like JJ ends up doing like a radio call, like a call, like she takes over all the stations and talks to the unsub, and it's kind of a big step up for JJ because she's like, I'm not a profiler. Yeah. And then she has to like talk to him. We'll put this in great, because I think it's a great. It's a well written unsub. Yeah. Which we see that a lot, but I mean, special. Okay. The next one.
Okay. Now we have season 6, Supply and Demand.
Oh!
You remember? Okay.
No. God, what is this the one where they're selling people? That would make sense in the episode.
It might be.
Yeah, you can just look it up, make sure. Like, all we literally need is a screen cap, and then it'll all come back.
Oh, yeah.
And vamp.
We did look it up before.
We
just
did.
So you know.
We forgot to write prompts on the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Because Barry has to leave soon, it's fine.
Suspected human... Oh, yeah, it's a trafficking ring.
Okay. It's the one with Rossi, right? And that girl?
Yes.
Okay, you can explain.
Okay, so in this one, they're introduced to the case by this other department of this woman who's I think she's in the FBI, and she's like investigating this human trafficking ring, where the trafficking ring is selling people to like others so they can like kill them themselves. It's like a serial killer human trafficking ring. Yeah. And then one of the woman's like undercover detectives goes missing while she's undercover, and so they have to go try to find her and try to take down the trafficking ring. And I thought it was a cool episode because there's this point at the end where like the undercover detective's like friend, she was also kidnapped, or at least you think, but then you find out that she's actually the head of the trafficking ring, and there's this moment at the end where she's like trying to convince Rossi that she is a victim, and then Rossi figures it out, and then like Morgan shoots her.
Yeah.
And yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. You know what? I kind of would put it in good.
Yeah.
There's nothing to me that stands out.
It's not meh. I don't
meh.
think it's great.
Yeah, nothing to me stands out enough for me to be like, oh, that's a great season finale. I do like the twist. It's a good twist.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, groundbreaking or anything.
Also, I feel like the acting of like the unsub girl isn't like groundbreaking.
It isn't. You know what though? I wish they set up the twist a bit further. I feel like I think it would have been interesting if they like hadn't found out so quickly that she was.
Yeah, this is another season where like, I mean, it's a little step above than like just a regular episode, but they don't like. There's definitely other seasons where they introduce it further back, and then it's more of a, Yeah. Okay, so good.
Yeah. What if we put nothing in Mad? I feel like there's gotta be a Mad one coming up.
Season 14.
Season 7. Run. No fucking clue. A little vamping.
You know, my sister Maggie had never heard of the Ratatouille musical.
Oh,
she like she had never even heard of it.
Angelica had the same thing. She was like, "What is that?" And I'm like,
I don't understand how you just could not. It's all over my For You page. Okay, bank robbers. The bank robbers and the bomb.
And the end with
the marriage.
JJ and
the
Will.
marriage.
It ends with them getting married.
There's highs and lows.
And they have a party. They have a party, as per usual of every season. While reviewing the final episodes, we realized that every season either ends with them like having a dinner party or eating somewhere, or just a party.
Well, to be fair, I think that starts like maybe season 5. It doesn't happen in the first season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole thing with JJ where like
yes, Will is kidnapped.
Yeah, with the Will he's strapped to a bomb and what's her name? Emily has to like.
That's one of the screencasts you had for you to look at.
You saw last week's podcast. What was I gonna say? I like the scene where JJ has to fight the lady that is attempting to take Henry.
Oh yeah.
It's a very cool scene, and I think it's a great like.
And that scene where like Will has to leave Henry with her.
It's a great movement for like their relationship,
mm-hmm.
which gets fucked later on. But then they get married in the end. I feel like if in the context of just that episode and not thinking about what happens later, it's a great like.
Yeah.
I do like that episode a lot.
Yeah, I think that's one of the times we like get to see their relationship the most.
I kind of want to put it in great, just because I think it's really distinct.
Yeah.
Just because it's not them as per usual, like investigating a case and then catching someone. They're like being held hostage, and there's it's like the entire episode is basically them trying to negotiate with the unsubs, as opposed to just like investigating and then finally finding them at the end.
Yeah. And isn't she like? They find out that the female bank robber has been like, she's like filming it the whole, like live streaming it to someone else, and that person is someone. He comes back, he's somebody.
I don't know. I'll put this in good. Okay. Why not?
I'd agree.
Okay, next one.
Okay. Season 8. The Replicator.
Strauss dead.
Strauss is dead.
Because I think the writers realized...
She doesn't even die in the final episode.
You know what? It was funny. I feel like the only way the writers were like, let's redeem Strauss is by killing her. Because her death is like so sad. Because she's like all drunk and stuff because the replicator made her drink. And then she's like talking to Hotch. And she's like, you're wrong. I don't love my son more than all my other children. And then it's this whole thing of like, they explain how like Strauss was not like always there for her children, and it's a weird like grieving process of
I always did think it was weird that like, don't we not find out that she and Rossi were dating until like after she died, and he's like all sad.
No, we found out because
We did?
There was a time where like Garcia and Reed were at a convention and they like walked out of it.
Oh yeah, and they were in the hotel.
And they saw
I forgot about
Strauss
that.
walking out of the hotel that Rossi was staying at, like all disheveled.
That was funny.
So weird. Well, you know, we didn't. Did we talk about them in the Ship podcast?
Strauss and Rossi?
Yeah.
Do I care?
I don't think we
I
did.
don't care.
If that's a. Anyways. Because that's not like, it's barely a thing. It's barely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I think it's for like humanizing Strauss
Yeah.
at best. Because it's like, oh, if Rossi thinks she's a good person, then maybe she has.
She needs
potential.
someone to
Yeah.
like her.
But yeah, no. Back to this episode, the Replicator.
What happens after Strauss dies? They like.
Well, the guy who's killing the Replicator is like an actual FBI agent, isn't he? And he's
Yes, because he was pissed at Blake.
He was pissed at Blake and Strauss because, or like decades ago. Like this is not even in the series. Like it's just his origin story.
Yeah.
Apparently, him, Blake, and Strauss were all like investigating a case, and it went wrong. Strauss blamed it on Blake and the Replicator.
Yes.
And so Blake just kind of goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Replicator is like demoted, and he goes through a lot.
See, this is an example of like they're taking loose ends that they started earlier in the season, and then they start to close them.
And then years later to now, there's a position open at the BAU. The Replicator guy is overlooked. They choose Blake.
Yes.
And so he targets Strauss and then targets Blake later on by like strapping her to like a pressure chair that will like set off a bomb.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I remember Reed and Blake have that like moment at the end.
Oh,
because Blake leaves.
And that's how the episode ends.
Yes. What'd you say?
I'd say it's good for the reason that it has like, I like that the Replicator has like a solid background that is attached to the team.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of the time with unsubs like this, it's just like, oh, they kind of just get attached to the team.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's like an entire history explaining Blake's involvement and Strauss's.
Yeah. I don't think it's great.
I don't think it's great. Because
It's probably not meh.
It's not meh. It's good. Is there seriously no meh ones?
Looking back on it now.
We might,
I feel like the pig one is meh.
we can, at the end we can rearrange this and just take back our decisions. Okay, next one. Season 9, Demons. What a vague title.
So vague.
We don't remember it. Ugh. I hope this is a meh one. I want trash on one.
I do. Me too.
This is probably going to be the most complimentary episode that we ever filmed.
Like, honestly, what happened?
We, like, literally every episode was
I'm disappointed in
I
us.
literally said last episode that there was a better show that I was watching.
Okay. Serial murder investigation in Texas. This is so fucking vague. Deep dark web of corruption could be motive for the killings. One team member's life hangs in the balance. Another concerned BAU member must face a sad secret from the past, and Garcia is thrown into action to save a colleague.
You can say that about every episode. You can say that about every episode. A little vamp and ooh, ooh.
Jesus.
My emotions feel like explosions when you're around.
Oh, wait. This is the last appearance of Blake.
Did we fuck up?
What's season 8 then?
See. We can't go back.
Oh no!
Season 9. You can hear my dad talking on the other side of the wall.
No, the Replicator is season 8. Is Blake still in the next season? Oh, I think that is Replicator. I just think we were incorrect in like when Blake leaves.
I think that's fine. I mean,
it will not tell us.
I'll vamp while
what
you're
the
doing that.
episode is about.
I'll vamp while you're figuring it out. You know what? If you want more content from me, go to the description below and check out my YouTube channel.
It's the ACAB one.
What?
The police ones that shoot Spencer in the neck.
I thought that was season 8.
No. That's a replicator.
Oh no! This is the one with Blake leaving.
Yeah. We put the little clip with Blake and Reed is in this episode. We mixed it up.
Forget what we said about Blake leaving in that one. That has nothing to do with this. She just gets like majorly involved. This one, the local police officers are part of the cartel or something.
Yeah, they're like running a drug ring. It's really weird.
And it ends with Reed getting shot in the neck, but he's fine. He like goes home. And
I don't know, isn't that the one where like Garcia is like in the hospital with him and then like she has to like take him out of the hospital? Or is that a different one?
Why would he do that?
Because like the police officer come into the hospital trying to kill him again.
Well, if that's...
So she has to like wheel him out in the wheelchair. That might be different.
Well, if that's...
It definitely happens at some point.
If that's this, fucking great. It's fucking great. I love that. For some reason I really like that.
Do you remember like Garcia like has a gun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because isn't the nurse trying to poison Reed by like doing the
and then
drug?
she has to wheel him out.
I love that part for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like it really puts Garcia in a good light. But the main thing about this is that Blake leaves at the end. Is that it?
I think so.
And it's another moment of just Spencer being abandoned as soon as he gets attached to someone. What else happens? The drug cartel. I think that's the big thing, is that Blake leaves.
Yeah. This is another one where it's just like it's not really a big connection to the earlier in the season.
Should we say meh? I feel like this is meh.
I think it's meh.
This is meh!
It's meh.
We have her for meh. First meh. I can hear a car running. If my dad is taking my car, I swear to God.
I mean, it gets a point for ACAB, but...
We should have made a category just called ACAB.
Okay.
You know what I will say? Even though they technically are cops, the Criminal Minds is kind of largely ACAB because they hate the cops. The local police are either the unsubs or the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
That's literally.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do the next one?
Or their love interest.
I don't need to talk about that.
Okay, season 10, The Hunt.
The Hunt. I feel like that.
It's the one where the girl with the bad nickname's daughter gets kidnapped.
We're not gonna talk about what Barry likes to call Kate.
Okay.
Kate's niece gets kidnapped because she and her idiot friend decide to meet a guy up online by themselves. Yeah. Stupid, dumb idiot.
After like her mom specifically told her not to.
Imagine your mom being in the FBI and you still pull shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. What was I gonna say?
My mom would kill me if I did that and she doesn't even have a gun.
Exactly. No, but yeah, Kate's adopted niece.
Yeah.
Well,
basically
she adopted her niece because her sister died.
Mm-hmm.
Gets kidnapped and, Kate has to save her and she survives because Kate has taught her to effectively, like, talk with an unsub in order to escape the situations. Yeah. But hasn't taught her enough to not meet random men online. Yeah. It's pretty dumb. Because they're attempting to sell her, essentially.
I mean, to be fair, I think her friend kind of pushes it.
That's true.
Like, the niece isn't sure. Yeah. And the friend pushes it. But she still should have been like, no peer pressure!
It's not a real friend.
No peer pressure on me!
It ends with them getting... There's no big twist at the end, right? No one leaves or no one does anything.
Well...
Kate leaves! Kate leaves because she's like,
she's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
I don't think it's... because I think that might have been a pushing factor, but I think she's gonna leave anyway because she's like, I want to spend as much time with this new child that I did with my niece.
Can I be honest? I don't think I don't think her being pregnant was necessary at all. Yeah. She could have just left on the factor of, like, her niece was just way too involved.
I think the actress might have been pregnant. Cause I don't know why they would introduce that otherwise.
And I don't know why they would kick her off after a season if she wasn't pregnant.
I mean, they do kick off a lot of people after a season.
But, I don't know. Jennifer Love Hewitt must have been looking for work then. She was kicked off a season. Jesus. Anyways, where would we...
It's not great.
It's not great.
Is it good? I mean, I'm leaning towards good just because they definitely hint at it, like, throughout the season. There's, like, because, like, the niece, like, they, like, her and her friend have been, like, there's, like, things. Because I remember, like, earlier in the season, they go to meet up, but then the husband is there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he has to like leave. Like there's like some drama like leading up to it. Like something's gonna happen. Like there's some like suspense.
I'd put it in good because it's definitely like the producers trying their best to like give Kate something before she leaves the show, and I think they did that pretty well.
Yeah.
And I really like the whole day of like her niece surviving the unsub because she knew how to like kind of negotiate and talk to an unsub who was like a psychopath. We're pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I like that the niece wasn't just like wasn't like a rollover victim, like some family members would be. She's like, she uses like the stuff that her aunt taught her.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one. Oh, season 11, The Storm.
Ah, yes.
I don't remember much outside of the fact that like it's based around, they're all like in a prison, and one of the cops is corrupt. Or, like, he's in cahoots with the prisoners somehow.
I think so. And
he, like, ends up letting a lot of, like, the prisoners. Do they escape? Yeah, they do. Because we see a couple of them.
Yeah, I think that's like a subplot.
Yeah.
Later. Where they, like, over the next couple seasons, they have to, like, catch him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just remember we were looking this up, and we were very confused because at the end, there was, like, the prison, there was, like, a helicopter, there was, like, a car burning, and there was, like...
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
The storm.
There's a storm.
I don't remember anything interesting about the episode. Do you?
I remember that Tara is trapped. But that's about it.
Should we put it in meh? Can I be honest? I put it in meh because it reads to me as something that they tried really hard to make like a cool, like big thing.
It fell flat.
But it was like, it just seemed like a lot of things just happening, and there was like really no
It
substance.
seems more like a lead-up episode, like an exposition episode, than like a final episode, you know what I mean?
I feel like there was no significant event. There was no event significant enough in season 11 for them to tie off, so they were like, oh, let's do a really big episode thing, or something kind of really big and dramatic happens. But then the problem with that is that you have to start and end that in the same episode if you're going to do that, because they didn't really want it rolling over to the next seasons. Should we put it in meh? Yeah. Meh. It's meh.
Okay. Season 12. Red Light. What's this about? I remember he was in prison.
The car crash.
Yes, the car crash. This is the season where, like, one of our friends, she's watched Criminal Minds, but only up to the end of season 12.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a car crash at the end, and you don't know if, like, any of them are alive. And then she's just like, this is fine. It
ends with a car crash, and I forget. So it's JJ, Emily, Rossi, and then the other guy. I can't remember his name because he dies so quickly.
Yeah. I remember he was cool. He had kids.
Yeah. And then he died.
I think he's the only team member who died while he was on the team.
Do you remember that Cody Co video where he was talking about the that movie where it was like a priest and he was also a velociraptor?
Yes.
Velocipaster.
That was so funny.
Remember the part where like his like the older priest is talking to him and he's like, well, that's what parents do. They die on you.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. God, I completely lost my place. Red Light. Reed's in prison.
I can't remember what leads up to the car crash.
I don't remember either. I know. Oh! Well, Morgan's back for like a visit because Scratch texted him from Garcia's phone.
Yeah, and then Scratch kidnaps Prentice. I feel like the beginning of season 13 is better than the end of season 12.
Low key? That's very true.
Yeah.
Where would we put this?
It's not great.
I don't know.
I'd feel bad if we put it in meh because someone dies.
Well, no, he doesn't technically die until the next episode. So, all bets are off. We have to talk about this purely in the context of that single episode.
I mean, I didn't like it because they put that huge cliffhanger on the last season that's on Netflix.
And then they still haven't put season 13.
Oh, yeah, they haven't.
They haven't. Should we put it in meh?
I mean...
You know what? I would call this meh, but I would call season 14, episode 1 great.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But
if we're just talking about this episode, then...
Wait, this is season 12?
Yeah, so
I'm
you're
season
talking about
13.
season 13.
We'll put this in there.
Okay.
But the direct aftermath is great.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that.
Emily's escape from there is pretty badass.
That's true. Season 13, Believer.
I remember this one. Go. It's the serial killer cult. So, or the beginning of the serial killer cult. They continue it in season 14. But they discover an FBI agent who has been kidnapped for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And because the son of the like regular old like suburban family that kidnapped him and kept him like captive for years like helps him escape.
Yeah.
And then they find out that family was part of this cult of serial killers and then like the head of the cult was part of the cult from, it was like season 5 or 6. It was like really early. Where the cult where like Reed was like with them, you know.
Reed and Prince.
Well, you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't know how else to describe it.
You know it.
They drink Kool-Aid at one point.
Reed and Prentice. It's that cult that kidnaps Reed and Prentice
Yes,
and has
yes.
a bunch of child brides.
So then, in this one, they find out about the serial killer cult, and then Garcia gets kidnapped at the end, and then also Reed, I think. And then like they keep working on that in season 14. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
I
thought it was a pretty good episode.
I like the subplot of
I remember there was that twist where one of the FBI agents in the office
that was helping
with them,
the BAU.
yeah, she was part of the cult.
Yeah,
and I remember it was a thing because at the like near the beginning of the episode, she told the agents that she like gave them information on the FBI agent that had been held captive.
Because the team actually manages to catch the unsubs technically, like the leaders, but then the undercover cult member who's in the FBI
helps them escape.
Yeah, helps them escape by like kidnapping Garcia as like leverage.
I also liked it because you think it's already this big thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like the serial killers, but then you find out that it's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Where would you put this?
I put it at great. I think.
You
can put it at good if you want to.
Why? I'm not questioning you. Well, I'm questioning you physically, but I don't doubt. Like, why is it great?
It's mostly a gut feeling. I just thought, I thought it was cool. I just think it's like a big thing, and I like that they brought back the stuff from like many seasons ago, because they don't do that often because they forget about shit.
I will put this in great purely for the fact that they remember something. I'm talking to you, writers. Okay, you can get the next one.
Okay. Season 14, Truth or Dare. Hate it.
Hate it so much. The main reason
I'm tempted to put it under season 15.
We might, because okay, let's talk about how bad this is. The worst part about it is that this is the episode. But first of all, the unsub is mediocre. We barely remember anything about the unsub. The only thing I remember about the unsub is that he's a weirdo and that he like wants JJ. By the way, he kidnaps JJ and Reed.
Yeah.
And he's gunning
Can we
them
remember
down.
why? No.
He's like, I want you to tell me a secret. And I'm gonna tell you, lie to me and stuff like that. And then she tells Reed that she's been in love with him this entire time and that he was first love. It doesn't make any sense at all because they never refer to it.
It comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere. We literally haven't spoken about that whole situation since season 2.
Oh yeah.
Since Gideon was on the show, we haven't spoken about the possibility of romance between JJ and Reed. And by the way,
it died with Gideon.
True. JJ is married to Will with kids. It has a great written relationship. Like, their relationship is written so well.
We did talk about this a couple of episodes
I think
ago.
it's bullshit.
I know, it is. But, like, and, like, besides that, he's just not an interesting unsub to me.
Yeah.
He was literally only introduced so they could bring up the JJ and Spencer thing. I honestly forgot this was a finale episode.
It doesn't seem like one.
It doesn't seem like one. It doesn't seem like it should be. Like, I feel like there's better episodes in that season they could have used as finale episode.
The only thing that makes it a season finale is the fact that it's at the end. And the fact that there's like a wedding at the end between Rossi and Crystal.
Oh yeah. Another party. Another party.
Third wife.
Yes. The one he married in Vegas.
And also like JJ's confession, I get that's like a big thing, but it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't care.
Let's put it in season 15. This is literally the only other season finale that is as bad as season 15.
Yeah.
And so we move on to season 15. And in the end, can you explain? You start off on why this is shit.
Did we ever figure out who they were investigating?
I don't know.
I think we looked it up, but we were like,
wasn't significant enough.
yeah, it wasn't. I couldn't remember. I couldn't. Oh, it was the guy who took off people's faces.
But okay,
And like he was. I guess he was an interesting person, but he wasn't good enough to be a finale unsub.
Yeah.
And he wasn't good enough to be the show finale unsub.
That's true. It's a really big ending to the whole thing. I would have loved if they had brought back like an old unsub.
Oh
So
yeah, that would have been cool.
So cool. Like
Aubrey Plaza could have ended it all.
Honestly, the beginning of season 15 is way better than the start.
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of it. I would have loved if two of the unsubs had like gotten together because I don't think it's really happened before.
Yeah, team up.
Yeah,
Like they could have like been like it would have been like the like in like a superhero movie.
Oh yeah.
When like they have like the League of Eagle or whatever. Yeah, and they're all teaming up to take down the BAU. That would have been cool.
It's what. To be fair, I know this is in context of the finale. We can end this really soon.
Yeah, I know. Maggie's getting pissed at me.
Fuck. We just don't like season 15 as a whole.
Yeah.
Just because it's literally the producers and the writers just be like, let's wrap
You
up
can
every
really
loose end
tell
in
they
one season.
didn't know it was going to be the last season until they started the season.
I would have been more satisfied if they just left stuff hanging.
Well, you like that.
We had this conversation last time where I wish...
Wait, it's funny because last time you said you'd like them all to be dead.
Yeah, hanging or dead. Because...
Hanging and dead.
Dude, imagine if like the whole series, it's like, okay, you know how it ends? It ends with a party, right? Because Garcia's leaving.
Yes.
Garcia,
Which is weird.
Fuck off. You know what would have been interesting if like it had ended with a shot of them at a party, and then it went to black, and then the next shot was all of them hanging.
Why do you say shit like that?
I would have loved that. I don't. Because you know what? It's not the fact that it's a happy ending that bothers me. It bothers me because it's just a shit ending.
Yeah.
It's just shit. And I feel like the only way they could have rounded out everything if they wanted to was dead.
Yeah. With the amount of time they had left.
Yeah. Either that or just don't wrap up all the things that
They
don't
really
need to be wrapped up.
I think they just had a bad idea of what wrapping up needed to be.
Yeah. And I don't like that the team had to necessarily break up in order for like the show to end.
Yeah, that was weird.
There's no point in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like we were wondering where they were gonna go after that because literally every other time the team is broken up during the series, they get back together.
Oh yeah.
So we're under the assumption as like fans that it's gonna keep going,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just they didn't need to be like, oh, it's like iCarly. Remember when they ended the web show?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to end the web show. They could have just been like, yeah, a lot of unnecessary shit.
Yeah.
Do you know anything to say about season 15?
Not really. I just didn't like it.
It fucking sucks.
All right.
But that's the board. This is the definitive ranking of all the season finales of Criminal Minds. And there's no other way to do it.
I feel like we were more optimistic at the beginning. So, like, the ones in good from the beginning may not be actually good, but, you know.
Honestly, I think it's the show decreasing in quality over time.
Oh, maybe.
That's so mean. But, yeah, there's no other ranking. I don't care if anyone comes up with that ranking. This is it. This is the definitive ranking.
We are correct.
Fact,
Yes.
not opinion.
We had lots of data points.
Yeah. So much research.
Yes.
It's my dissertation. But yeah. Do you want an outro?
Well, okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed our first in-person podcast.
Yes.
For Wheels Up. Like, comment, and subscribe below. And thanks for watching.
What if, like, at the end, what if our shtick was that we just said, make sure to murder that like button?
All right.
Okay, bye.